Call to order the June 1st, 2026 meeting of the Bayport City Council. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thanks. Matt, will you call the roll?
Councilmember Bliss.
Here.
Councilmember Kipp.
Present.
Mayor Hansen.
Here.
Just a note, Councilmember Gilmore and Councilmember Hill will not be attending tonight.
All right. Do we have a motion to approve tonight's agenda? You guys are going to be very busy tonight.
I will move to approve tonight's agenda.
All right. Thanks, Oren.
Second.
Thanks, Carl. All in favor? Aye. All right, agenda approved. There are no proclamations, etc. We could have an open forum, but nobody is here, so I think I'll skip reading that part. And then we'll move on to the consent agenda. We're going to consider a resolution adopting items 1 through 10 that are listed. First two are the May 4th City Council workshop and regular meeting minutes. Then there's the May payables and receipts. Oh, wait. The minutes, this is where I should probably mention, right, that we have a couple edits. So we'll approve the regular meeting minutes with two small edits that are in front of you guys in red under new business, changing from what we're talking about. Do I have to spell them out or is it okay if they're written? Okay, just two small things just to help clarify some of the minutes. And then, let's see, we'll move on to number 3 was payables and receipts. 4, May building, plumbing, mechanical, and zoning permits report. 5 is a special event application from Woodfire Wellness to operate the seasonal sauna facility at Lakeside Park again for the winter. Temporary liquor license from Bayport American Legion for Derby Days on September 18th. And a temporary liquor license for the Legion for the St. Charles Fall Festival on September 27th. And number 8 is security incident response policy for the police department. 9 is authorization to initiate annexation of PID 1002920240001 and PID 1002920240086 within Baytown Township. Those are just basically some gap parcels that, and little confusion, that didn't get part of the annexation before, so it's nothing really new, in case anyone's surprised by that. And then number 10, appointment of this year's election judges. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda with the edits for the minutes? You can say so moved.
So moved.
All right, thanks, Oren.
I'll second.
Thanks, Carl. Let's see, roll call.
Councilmember Bliss.
Aye.
Councilmember Kipp.
Aye.
Mayor Hansen.
Aye. Consent agenda passes. There are no public hearings. We have one item under unfinished business concerning an amendment to Appendix B, zoning, Bayport City Code of Ordinances related to signage and security for cannabis and hemp businesses. And Sarah's going to present this item.
Madam Mayor, members of the council, over the past 2 years, the city has adopted various ordinances related to cannabis and hemp businesses. Recently, staff discovered that the content related to signage and security that was originally included in Ordinance 903 was inadvertently omitted in Replacement Ordinance 915. So as a result, staff is requesting the ordinance be amended to reinstate the omitted provisions as outlined in the draft ordinance. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thanks, Sarah. Seems pretty straightforward. I don't know, does anyone have any questions or comments?
Any impact on current applications? Or?
Councilmember Bliss, no.
Okay.
Okay. So basically the ordinance is just saying that they can't have signs that have some kind of display of exactly what it is they're selling. Like it shouldn't look like a cannabis flower, etc. And then the security bars and gates are prohibited on the exterior of the building. right? Those are the two things, or was it just section 1?
Correct.
Okay, gotcha. And these things were in the like state written documentation anyways, but we're just making sure they're in ours, to be clear. Okay. All right, do we have a motion?
Move to adopt an amendment to Appendix B zoning of the Bayport City Code of Ordinances related to signage and security for cannabis and hemp businesses.
I second that.
All right, as drafted. Okay, perfect. All right, thanks, Carl and Oren. All in favor? Oh, wait, roll call.
Roll call. Councilmember Bliss.
Aye.
Councilmember Kip.
Aye.
Mayor Hansen.
Aye. Motion passes. And then there's no new business, so we'll move to council liaison reports. And we only have a couple to report. Who's itching to go first? Carl?
May 11th, met with the Lake Elmo Airports Advisory Commission. Kind of a fun meeting. We had the new manager for the Washington County Fair join us as a point of introduction, and it'll be a separate topic, but looks like some big things planned for the fair. EAA is working to engage youth significantly this summer. They've done a lot of homeschool, 4-H group tours. It's a priority for the airport community for sure. Any National Honor Society or youth looking for volunteer hours, there are some volunteer hours with EAA at the airport that are would be fun if that's what you're into. August 9th, pancake breakfast. And then something I learned was we have a aircraft viewing area with like a little radio now that's out there at the
it has the
airport.
radio?
Yeah,
Oh,
they
fun.
have the radio this year. They've upgraded the viewing area. So if you want to watch some small planes come and go and listen to them talk, it might make for a fun family outing.
Cool. What does EAA stand for? Do you know?
Experimental Aircraft Association, I think.
Experimental. Oh, cool. All right, thank you. Hope you're enjoying those meetings.
This one was finally fun.
Yeah, good. When I was there, we did a little, I had to present about Bayport. That was interesting. We went to each of the cities and we had our own little presentation.
And I forgot the most important part of the meeting is our new chief, Gabe, got to
Introduce himself.
introduce himself, and he's been engaged with the airport community with his airport experience. That's going to be valuable.
Yeah, awesome. Good, thank you. Oren, you do watershed, right?
Yes. I met with the Middle St. Croix Watershed Management Organization on May 14th. It was kind of a short meeting. One of the large takeaways was that there's been some issues with some more extreme infractions south of us, more so Lakeland and Lake St. Croix Beach. And so there was a motion and it was approved to send out some Bluff landowners mailings, kind of reminding the land or the homeowners about the process for obtaining proper approvals for building along the bluff there. So
Okay,
that was kind of the main takeaway.
great. You have a thing for like making meetings short.
It's a gift.
Yes, I love it. All right, let's see, my month of May. Matt and I did the State of the Cities early May on the 5th. The Stillwater Chamber puts that together. We sit on a panel along with City Administrator and Mayor from Oak Park Heights and Stillwater and Lake Elmo, and just give an update on what's happening in our city. I got personally a lot of positive feedback after that. People love hearing what's happening, even though to us it's, same old mundane, whatever, and we know what's happening. They don't, so they get excited to hear that. So thanks to the Chamber for putting that on. Did attend a coffee talk at Washington County Heritage Center on the 6th. Had a chance to chat with Brent Peterson there, and they have a new employee, so I got to meet her, and she already had some fun ideas for what could happen in Bayport when she heard that we have a prison and a cemetery. She thought, ooh, she wanted to do like a ghost something. So anyway, she was already thinking through some cool ideas. I am trying to work with Brent to do something else to get some sort of presentation about Bayport history, whether we have a trolley ride or a presentation at the senior center or something. He has not responded, but I'm keep trying. The bar crawl was on May 9th. Had a great time. It's always a good crowd, so hung out there for a little bit. Matt and I met along with Anna De La Rosby on the 12th at It's our budget committee, so we went very detailed through the budget and had a good conversation, and I think it will be helpful going forward. We're gonna have a couple more meetings hopefully before we get that done. Anna's also on the Bayport Library Board, and so we think it's gonna be helpful to communicate better between the two entities because it's always felt very separate, and so that will, I think, make that go better in the future. Speaking of library board, we met on the 19th, and I think Jill does a great job of summarizing everything in the packet. We get a letter, and there really wasn't much to add to that. On the 20th, I did a quick ribbon cutting for E's Gourmet Sandwiches. They're open down in Stillwater now, right behind No Neck Tony's, where the Clam Shack was. It's an amazing thing because the kid's only 20 years old, so he's getting a lot of positive feedback, and he did a great job.
Did you try a sandwich?
I was kind of hoping that they were going to have like some samples, and I had to quick leave, so no. I didn't.
I've heard good things.
Yes, I've heard very good things. Sounds like really good competition for Sun's Deli here, but luckily they're down the road, so I think they'll have different customers, hopefully. So on the 21st was the Fire Advisory Board meeting. So that is where we get together with our partner cities, and now we're learning, thanks to Chief, how some other area fire departments operate in terms of, do they have a JPA, do they have a district? And so this month it was someone who, it was the fire chief from Colquay, where they have a district. I know what my takeaway is from it, but I guess we'll kind of let that be said later. So let's see, and then next month we'll be hearing from Dustin Callis from Lake Elmo, and did we get new Stillwater chief too, coming to talk about how they operate. So we're just trying to learn, and hopefully that can help us create the best contract going forward. Went to a chamber ambassador meeting on the 26th. Oh, on the 27th, I did have an online meeting with a couple representatives to talk about Transit Link in Bayport. So Sheila Holbrook White and Charles Carlson, they both do different jobs with the state, but it was interesting because I had seen a post online that there's Transit Link on demand in the Stillwater area that they're piloting. But it doesn't affect us, so we don't have that. So I wanted them to clarify it, so they had a nice meeting with me, and they said, no, there's Transit Link, but not Transit Link on demand yet. So anyways, we're gonna be getting some more marketing materials from them, and then we'll help spread the word about, it's a low-cost rideshare program that anyone can use. They also have Metro Mobility, but that's for people that are disabled. So this is similar to that, but it's for anyone that needs a ride because there is no busing like in our area. So it's a cool program that a lot of people aren't aware of. I did have a touch base with Oak Park Heights Council member Mark Swenson, just used to be our fire chief, longtime friend because of that. So that was kind of fun just to catch up with him, kind of see how things are. He loves being back on the council. He's going to keep doing that, it sounds like. The 29th, I went to a senior expo at Community Thread, again, to just kind of gather more information for our residents. I learned a little bit more now there's about county transportation services as well. And the state's got an aging pathways program. There's other services that'll be helpful. So I'm hoping to connect with, it was held at Community Thread, so hopefully get some more information out about that, and maybe Sarah can put some things in a newsletter if we gather some of that. So had a chance to meet with Pastor Claire Grommel from St. Croix United Church on the 29th. She has some thoughts about beautifying Perro Park, and of course I explained that costs money and that we also have to prioritize our parks. And we've had some discussions around that, trying to figure all of that out. But I think that's great because I think there's a potential for some future partnerships with the church, because they sit right there, right next to Perro Park. And if they are excited about making that a better place, I think maybe there's some funding, partnership opportunities, et cetera. So, or even just volunteers if they're willing to go, make a rain garden or whatever. But okay, and then just lastly, I wanted to mention that Matt and I are working on a grant application through the St. Croix Valley Foundation to install some trail maps up in the prairie just south of Inspiration. So we did the walkability study, we mapped where all our trails are. Now I think we need to help people that are up there know where they're going on that trail and where it leads them to and all of that. So only if we get the grant. We're not gonna go spend money on it if we don't have the grant, as far as I'm concerned. Although it wasn't that expensive to do it. So we can talk about that if we don't get the grant, but hopefully we do. It's due June 5th, so we should hear soon. So those are all the things pretty much that I worked on in May. And Matt, now let's move on to staff and city administrator report.
We'll start with Fire Chief Kinney.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council, and staff. As you can see, I changed up the report a little bit this month.
Yeah.
You have two reports. You have a quarterly report, a monthly report. Which one's up first? Do you know on your?
It's May, the monthly, it looks like.
Okay.
Yep. Wait,
Start
I
with
think, yeah.
So month of May ran 97 calls. Year to date, 516. As you can see, there were 13 overlapping calls, which in our world starts to kind of start making a difference. That means we're already out on a call and another one came in, or we are clearing, or we had 2 or 3 or 4 at the same time. Then you can see the calls by day, or I'm sorry, by the time of day.
It'd be
So
cool
right
if we
around
could
that 10 o'clock in the
this up
morning,
on
it
the
seems like we're running quite a few calls. So, then types of fires, and then also incidents by the week. The weekday, I'm sorry. And then by the districts, so we ran 50 in Oak Park Heights, 19 in Bayport, 15 West Lakeland, 7 Baytown.
Mm-hmm.
And then it doesn't prioritize all the calls, but those are just the top calls that we ran. And then our response times. I also would like to say thank you to everybody for the Fire Advisory Board that was there. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Matt. Hopefully I can get some meeting minutes so I can actually know what was said in my meeting.
Oh, yeah, you weren't there, yeah.
I also wanted to say thank you to all of our surrounding and partnering communities, the fire departments, the sheriff's department, Wisconsin Sheriff's Department, state troopers, police departments. We had a couple incidents go on the bridge at that time, so we were a little busy at that point in time, so we weren't able to make it. So it was a great outcome for one of our situations. So I wanted to say thank you to everybody on that. Also, we had airport training a couple weeks ago. We had Lake Elmo Fire Department, Washington County Sheriffs, Lakeview Ambulance, Washington County Emergency Manager. The MAC was there, and Lake Elmo Aero was part of our training that we had at the airport. Basically, it was just an area familiarization for the airport, because it's probably something, and definitely was something that has never been done before, and it's kind of a scary opportunity, and there's go places, and then there's no go places. So it was good training for a lot of the local communities also. Any questions for me on that aspect, unless you want to go over the quarterly, which is basically the same breakdown.
Yeah, well, thank you for taking that initiative to do that training at the airport. That's awesome. And also for redoing this report. It is, I know some people like outlines and bullet points. I like these charts and numbers like this. It's really helpful to visualize. Super interesting. Is this something that like comes easily out of some system where you're tracking this, or do you have to spend a lot of time putting this together?
It's a great question. Yes, this is a test pilot program that I was able to work with a local company to be able to get, and it makes pulling these numbers and accessibility to numbers a lot easier. Working through and with Image Trend, which is basically the state information system, is very difficult to work with and deal with. Where if you were to ask me a simple question like I just got asked the other day, call runs for Baytown for the past 5 years. Took me about 5 minutes to get all those. Where before, it would have taken Mike Gallowitz probably a couple weeks to get me those numbers.
Wow. And
How much easier the system is and program is to be able to manipulate and use and work with.
so this is a system you're piloting and then may purchase for forever use, kind of? Is that what?
I would love to, yes, but that's something that we got to try to
Got it.
figure out in the
Put that
budget
in
and
the
everything
budget.
else.
Okay,
So,
interesting.
yeah.
It would be great if in the future we could have this on the screen when you're talking about it. I don't know. Since it is very visual,
Yeah.
that would be nice. I don't know if there's a way to make that easily happen. If
It is in the packet publicly.
it is in the packet, but it's always so awkward when you're watching it and you don't have the packet in, but you're watching the meeting and you're like, it just kind of would be nice to see it.
Yeah, however you want me to do that.
Yeah,
it's
I
easily done.
appreciate it. So, the only thing I was kind of confused by was, so it's got response times, the average first arriving, and then response times 90th percentile first arriving. Can you help me understand the difference?
Yes, ma'am. So average response time for first arriving would be myself or whoever is in the duty vehicle, the CB2. If it's a structure fire, I can't really do anything. But if it's a medical, I can at least start to do that. So it just kind of starts to give you an average when you need to start making decisions as city council members and mayors, and you're like, okay, we want our response times to be X. And then you say, fire chief, we want our response times to be this. And I'm gonna look at you and say, we need to do this, this, and this. When it starts coming into that, you look at the 90th percentile, because basically what that does is that is the most consistent time of when you respond. So basically it kicks out the top little bit in the bottom half, because that's your consistent time, is that 13 minutes. So you can see the difference between the 8 minutes and the 13 minutes when you start getting into the consistent response times.
Oh, so it's just literally you take all the data, it's the 90th percentile of all the data versus the average, which is a mean.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because the 90th percentile
Gotcha.
is what you got to base everything off of, because delayed traffic.
Oh, yeah,
whatever,
that makes
whatnot,
sense
so.
now. Okay, I get it. Do you know why there's only 74 calls that are in that versus the full 97 total incidents? Is it because you didn't have to take a,
That would have just been
Fire truck out?
that was just the first vehicle response. So it's not that there wasn't 23 other people that responded to calls. What my guess is, and I guess I never noticed that.
I just noticed it now when I was looking, I'm like,
So-
oh, it only has 74.
My guess is that's just what it was. Well, I don't know. I'll have
Yeah,
to look
weird.
into that.
Yeah, that's
I
interesting.
can't tell you an answer.
Maybe it's because it's incidents versus where the apparatus have to actually show up. Is there something like, because just you showing up maybe doesn't count? I don't know.
No, because
Okay.
that's added into the first time.
Okay.
That would be mine.
Can you tell I used to write reports? So I'm like, wow, how does this all work? Okay.
I will look into that.
11 fires seems like a lot for a month. No?
Yeah, that's,
That's not typical, right?
well, we're about 80% medical and 20% fires, so that comes out to
Okay.
be pretty close.
Right. It was super interesting to see all this data, so thank you.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. Does anyone else have any questions or comments? I'm just dominating it. Yeah.
It's different, so. And I can definitely do either one. If you want a bullet point one, I can definitely do that, and if you want this, I can stick with this as well. You tell me what you want, so.
I like it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chief Jackson.
Mayor, council members, I have no charts for you.
Still a good looking.
All right.
Good looking
We
report.
still like you, Jake.
I'll see if I can put one in the next one. A couple things is we have pinned our Facebook post with the peddler and solicitor to our Facebook page. So if you get somebody knocking on your door, that is an updated list. Sergeant Slinger, as soon as he approves them, adds them to the list. So if it's anybody else, give us a call. If they don't leave your property or continue to knock on your door, we will come shoo them off and deal with it.
You said they're on the website or
They're
on,
on our Facebook page.
on
the
your
police department.
Facebook page?
Yep, and it's pinned, so it should
Oh, it
be
is
at the
pinned.
top.
Okay, I was like,
Yep.
well, how are you going to find it? Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to keep that updated just to make it easier, because it does seem like people, when they need to get the information, need it quickly. So
Yeah. I mean, not everyone's on Facebook, though. Is there a way to put it on the website?
I'm
is that
sure I
hard?
can work with Sarah and get something on there.
Okay.
Also, it's not on your report in front of you, but we have gotten quite a few more golf cart applications to get permitted. So I think we got another 4 in the last week or so. So that's good. So Sergeant Slinger has a pretty quick turnaround time on that. So if you do want to drive your golf cart on the streets, you need to fill out the application, pay the fee, and then there's some other rules in there. But definitely reminding residents, we've had some issues. One came up today where no one under the age of 18 is allowed to drive a golf cart. So make sure that you are watching your kids with the golf cart. So other than that, quite a few different public relations stuff this month. In fact, we have even more. We did one today with the fire chief up at the high school. We have one on Friday, but we did First Responder Friday at the middle school. Just the event there that they just honor the first responders. We went up to the historic courthouse for another one. May 15th is Law Enforcement Appreciation Memorial Day, so that's why those were doubled up those days. And then Sergeant Slinger went up to the high school Pony Brew Club Coffee and Donuts with First Responders event. And then we did a police department and canine tour for the 2 kindergarten classes, which that generally happens a couple times a year. And then we did an escort for one of the staff members at Anderson Elementary that was retiring. Just we go around the block with them, and kids get pretty excited about it. So that was a good time. And then Safety Camp July 13th and 14th. Your applications, get them in soon. They are on the website. And then also Night to Unite is knocking on the door in August there. And I will stand for questions.
Is that increase in golf cart applications likely from kind of one-on-one education?
The newsletter.
It might have been, or it might have been the last
Newsletter.
meeting where I announced it. Hopefully, a little word of mouth is going on. But I did. My officers have applications with them, so if they see somebody out on a golf cart, we'll definitely be making contact just to make sure everybody's on board. So,
Can you just remind everyone why we had to set it at 18? Because I think I remember we talked through that and we were like, why can't it be 16? Because of like, does everyone remember this whole conversation? And
I remember us having the conversation. I don't
but
remember
there
the
was like
specific.
there was a good reason why we had to go with 18, because I remember thinking 16 made more sense because of driver's licenses, but we don't remember, do we? Do any of us remember?
believe it was
Remember,
connected to
it was during the
ATV
workshop, I think.
regulations.
It had something to do with, yeah. I just want people to know that we didn't just willy-nilly choose 18. I remember there was a lot of conversation around it, and I know it's frustrating for some kids and parents that it is 18, but there was a good reason. None of us can remember it, though. You might not have been around
we
when we
did
did
vet it out
that.
during the workshop. I don't remember why. but it was
Yeah,
something.
yeah, so.
Any other questions? Okay, sounds
Thanks.
good.
Thanks.
Public Works Director Hanson.
Oh, thank you. Good evening, Mayor and council members. Crew spent time preparing for the Memorial Day Parade, mowing, cleaning up, setting up barricades, signage. Their efforts to help ensure that the event was safe and ran smoothly for everybody.
Totally forgot about
The preparation work at Barker's Alps Park for the new sign has been completed. We're just waiting on the delivery of the rock from Rivard Stone. The whole area was prepped, so we're all ready for that to get delivered and put up. Public Works staff has completed clearing approximately a quarter-mile walking trail in the loop at the Land and Water Legacy Program property. This improvement establishes initial access for the public throughout the site with views of the river, allowing our community to begin utilizing that property. Staff received the 52 flower baskets. They were all hung along Highway 95, 5th Avenue, and 5 up at the fire station. We did move the flower garden from the library side over to the north side of the road, so there's matching flower pots on that side now. I've been working with SEH for the sewer lining project. Hopefully we get plans and specs out for that. We anticipate sometime later this summer to get those out. Update on the solar panels up at the fire station. All the required testing has been completed. Everything successfully passed this time. The panels are fully operational, producing about 55% of all the needed power at the fire station on an annual basis.
More than that.
We're currently working with our contractor for the roof replacement at well house number 3. Hopefully we can get that done here shortly. Throughout last month, we've completed 12 water meter upgrades across the system to ensure that all of our water meters are working properly, both for the city and our residents. And lastly, I've started planning the work for this year's ash tree removals. We have 21 trees identified to remove and replace this year. I hope to get those bids out sometime by the end of next week. That concludes my report. I stand for questions.
Thanks, Joe. Thank you for helping with Memorial Day. I totally spaced that. It was a beautiful day. I think it was the biggest crowd we've had. Like, it was really nice, nicely done. I did reach out specifically to Jim Menard at the Legion because he plans it all and copied the commander and gave them kudos for a wonderful event. And the every time I go to the ceremony at the cemetery, I cry. But I mean, it's not unusual for me to cry, but they do a really nice job. It's always very touching. So thank you for helping get the signs out and all that.
Yep.
It is a little confusing. We put those no parking signs out so early because of the weekend. I don't know if does anyone ever complain, or do they realize they can still park there until Monday, do you think? I mean.
Typically, I think so. We don't do any enforcement until Monday.
Right. I don't know if it's deterring anyone around those Fifth Avenue businesses. I know Fifth Avenue, that little stretch, luckily we don't have to put them there because we go around by Croydale, but just want to, because they just say no parking by police order. They don't say like on Monday or something like that, right?
Yeah, and I am working with Joe to hopefully come up with some detour signs that'll, I think, help with our traffic flow issues.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna be making some small changes with some of that stuff, so.
Okay, good. Thanks. Other comment, I guess, is just that thanks for finally getting that solar panel thing ready at the fire station. I know that's been a really long process. Do you think, I mean, I think when we first estimated it, it was gonna cover almost all of the energy to run the fire station, but do you think it's because the cost of energy has increased so much, or what happened with the drop in the, because now we're saying 55% of the energy costs will be covered?
That was the original design, was to cover 55%.
Oh,
Well,
really?
actually, it was to cover 50%, and I think we're
Oh, okay, I thought it was
increased it by
higher.
5%. We'll take care of just about 100% of the use in off-summer months. Summer usage with all the power that they use for air conditioners, things like that, it will not keep up with that. But most of the off-season times, it will cover almost 100%.
Okay, so it averages out.
Yep.
All right, and then I also just wanted, since you mentioned the ash tree removal, we received a postcard at our house from, I can't remember the name of the company, but just, it had the Bayport logo on there saying that they partner with us, and I just wanted everyone to know that it is legit, because my husband brought it to me and said, can they use your logo on this? And I said, yes. So I just wanted everyone else to know that we really do partner with them to do our ash tree removal, and they'll be in the area, so they will be a company that you can work with. So that was it. So thank you, Joe. And the Barker's Alps sign has been almost as bad as the solar panel? I'm just
Yes, it has. Still waiting on the sign. We had some change in personnel at Rivard,
yeah.
so which delayed things a little bit. Gave us an opportunity to prep the site better than what we first intended.
So the base there that's what it's gonna look like, and then the stone's gonna go on top, or is it gonna be built up higher than that before the stone gets on there?
So the base that's out there now is the footings for the retaining wall.
Okay, that's
So
what I thought.
it will be about 2.5 to 3 feet taller than what it is now.
Perfect. Because we want it to be seen over that tiny little hill, so.
Yes, and
Awesome.
we did cut down that hill on the west side as well.
Yeah, great. It's gonna be beautiful once it gets put in. Thank you for all your efforts.
Assistant Administrator Taylor.
Madam Mayor, members of the council, a joint planning commission and city council meeting has been scheduled for Monday, July 13th at 5 p.m. to review 2 ordinance amendments. The first item is the annexation of the remnant parcels related to Bay Haven and the auto properties that were on the consent agenda this evening. And the second item is to consider an ordinance to allow and regulate bed and breakfast establishments based on previous city council workshop discussions and suggestions made by the city attorney. The June edition of the city newsletter was mailed last week. Highlights include a feature on our new fire chief, Gabe Kinney, and our most recent hometown hero, Sarah Wagner. Also upcoming library programs and events, an update on the Safe Routes to School Sidewalk Extension Project, and a community spotlight on the Bayport Fire Department. And the next edition of the newsletter will be printed in September. I'm beginning preparations for elections this year. Residents should mark their calendar for the primary election on August 11th and the general election on November 3rd. And just a thank you to all the residents that have agreed to help me staff the polling place on election days. Thank you very much. Finally, upcoming meetings and events. This Wednesday, June 3rd, will be the ice cream social at 6 p.m. at Lakeside Park. And then this weekend, June 4th and 5th, is the citywide garage sale. We've already had quite a few residents come and ask for maps, and those will be ready on Wednesday here at City Hall. And then finally, the kickoff to the farmers market is on June 15th at 3 o'clock at Village Green.
Wonderful.
Be happy to answer any questions.
Well, I've got some positive feedback on the newsletter. As soon as it hits the mailbox, people are like, nice newsletter. So that's all Sarah. I mean, other than I write my message, but she does the rest of it. So
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. But it's always very informative, and I think you do a great job, and I can tell people are reading it, so that's good. So, anything else from you guys? No? Okay, Matt?
Madam Mayor, members of the council, I just have one thing left to report on. We continue to attend meetings for the Stillwater Prison decommissioning study, working with the state consultant, Kimberly Sambolt. Our most recent meetings have been with Anderson Corporation, also the Minnesota State Historic Preservation Office, and today one of the Anderson Foundations. So these information gatherings will be coming to an end here shortly, and they'll be utilizing a lot of that data that was gathered to present a draft study, which would ultimately be presented to the state legislature, actually technically to the Department of Corrections and Department of Administration on September 30th. With that, I will stand for questions.
Okay. Thank you. Just thinking I had some question for you, and then I can't remember what it was, but we'll look at it after. All right. Any other announcements? Are we done? Okay. I make a motion.
Move to adjourn the meeting.
Thanks, Orin.
I'll second that.
Thanks, Carl. All in favor? Aye. All right.